Hi everyone, welcome back to Hope and Coffee. I'm Hope and with me is coffee, actually tea. I lied, I'm sorry. Didn't intend to though, but it is one of my favorite coffee cups, so at least there's that. I do have a candle that's burning. That is a fresh roasted coffee, fresh brewed coffee. It smells divine. Smells like smells just like a cup of coffee, but a kind of slightly sweetened, maybe with a little cream. Nothing too overly, like not a mocha or anything like that, but something lovely. But today we are going to talk about 10 life experiences that can help you feel more cultured or help you kind of feel more connected to the world around you. So let's see if you have done these. Maybe you actually are more cultured than you think you are, and if you haven't, then maybe you are able to broaden your horizons and kind of start thinking about ways you can see the world from other people's perspective, because that is something that I love. That is one of the reasons I have loved to travel. That is one of the reasons that I have moved in so many different ways. It's why I read. I love trying to have the perspective of other people, to put myself in other people's shoes and to try to understand others. I think it's so important and so relevant to be able to be understanding. And that is why I really wanted to bring this topic to you all, because when I ran across this article, I loved it. And I think of the 10, I want to say I think I hit pretty much all 10, and I was very proud of myself, so I felt really good. But I know that I can continue to grow and continue learning, and I hope that I can keep doing that. Now, number one, before we get into these, if you can like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for my channel, I would really appreciate it, as we are still trying to learn and grow as a channel. And it would really help me and the analytics and the all the fun stuff like that as the channel continues to grow. So thank you so much. And we'll get into number one, as being another language. So it is a life experience that you can take on to kind of learn more about other cultures by learning another language. And that is something that I have been trying to do. Like, I took Spanish in high school and a little bit in college. In college, I really wanted to take Latin, but it was not offered at my college, so I was unable to do it. So I just went ahead and took Spanish again, because I had already had a little bit of knowledge. But here in the past couple years, I went to France and I went to Paris and then went over to Geneva for a day trip. And when I got back, I decided I wanted to do Duolingo, and I started taking French. And so I think I've been doing it. I think my streak is 1,070 days. I feel really proud about myself. Of course, I am absolutely, I don't want to lose my streak at this point, so it is what it is. But learning another language is something that I really feel strongly about. I think it is really important. Just to be better understanding of just of the culture. Again, number two is being able to appreciate and enjoy art and sculpture. So at first I was like, yeah, okay, I get that, but I think there's a little more to it than just enjoying it, and then that other part is being able to appreciate it, to be able to see the hard work and dedication that someone has really put into it. Now, of course, there's going to be certain art that maybe doesn't resonate with you. There's going to be certain sculpture that's not going to resonate with you. But if you're able to look at Statue of David, or if you're able to look at a Monet or Degas or Starry Night, and you are able to look at those with some level of appreciation for the craftsmanship that went into those, then I think that's going to show your level of culture, because there is so much master craftsmanship behind just some of those pieces. Now, there are a couple artists I don't really understand, but it doesn't mean I don't appreciate them. It doesn't mean that I don't enjoy them, because sometimes they're just fun. I can appreciate a piece of art that is fun. But there is some art I don't understand, but I'm not going to sit there and judge it. I'm just going to sit there and accept that it might not be my cup of tea, and that someone else may understand it. But I think that's how we need to accept art in most cases, as that's not going to be for all of us. Some art will only resonate with some people, and that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I didn't understand a banana being duct taped to a wall, but for somebody that was art. And then somebody ate the banana, and that was also art. Again, not my type of art. I would rather stare at a Renoir for hours. But I just really like that type of painting. I like Impressionists. I love all those beautiful colors. But number three is experiencing other cultures. And I think that has a lot to do with traveling. Not only traveling, but I used to live in an apartment complex that had a beautiful Indian culture. And it's like every time around dinner time, it smelled divine. I just wanted to go knock on people's doors and just ask them, could I have some dinner too? And when they had, I think it was one of their festivals or something like that, and they were like lighting fireworks and things of that nature. I didn't know what holiday it was, so I Googled it and I discovered what holiday it was, and I went down the street to one of the Indian grocery stores, and I actually asked the woman at the grocery store what would be an appropriate gift for a neighbor or a neighbor's family who is celebrating this holiday. And she pointed out a few items that would be appropriate. And so I was able to purchase those items and like give them to the family. But I loved being able to, and then they turned around and they actually shared some of their treats with me, which I thought was really, really enjoyable. But just being accepting of their culture, it felt very nice and neighborly. So I really enjoyed that because I wanted them to feel welcome, but I also wanted to acknowledge them and their celebrations. So it was really fun. The fourth one is appreciating architecture. And I've only gotten halfway through this list, so maybe I'll just do 5 on this particular episode and we'll go through the other 5 on another episode. But I love being able to talk about these because I feel like these are such great points. But the fourth one, appreciating architecture, I love it. No, I love it because when I was in Chicago, I loved the architecture of that city. There's so much personality into a beautifully designed building. And I don't even know like what all the parts are, but to be able to actually see the craftsmanship, to be able to see that each building looks different and that someone has taken the time to make all this different filigree and that it's beautiful and there's wrought iron and all this stuff, and from a city, Chicago, that has burned down like 2 or 3 times. I was in awe. And as a girl from the South, there's not a lot of variation in a lot of architecture sometimes. You get a lot of ranch style homes, you get a lot of new builds and things like that. So you don't get a lot of really cute bungalow, cottage style homes too frequently. And when you do, sometimes they aren't well maintained. Now, New Orleans has some pretty cute little buildings downtown, or like down in New Orleans itself, but again, you would just have to go find them. But anyway, architecture, being able to appreciate the differing in architectures, even around the world, around a city, around the country, and how it varies from location to location, and even using different building material for different locations as well, and what the builders have to do in order to build in various locations can also be something kind of fascinating. And number 5, I think we'll stop here at this one for this particular list, and I'll post the last 5 on a secondary, on a second list. But number 5 is you have been to live music or live theater. And I think that's a really important one too, is listening to the radio is fine, watching TV is fine, but being able to experience live music and live theater in person is just something that's a little bit different. To be able to see these people actually put these emotions and their performance onto stage and they've practiced this craft for years, and to be able to actually see them do it is so very impressive on so many levels. I was able to see Zimmerman, Zimmerman, Zimmerman. Anyway, the gentleman who does all those beautiful movie scores for like, was it like Inception and Pirates of the Caribbean and Lion King, and oh my gosh, just that was a phenomenal concert. Like, it sent chills down my spine to be able to watch that man on stage with his team playing these epic music scores, for pretty much like 2.5 hours, and it was gorgeous. But there is just something about watching those in person. Even live music, live concerts, can give you a whole different vibe of seeing those bands on stage as well. But anyway, I will go ahead and end this here because I've kind of rambled a little bit longer than I usually do. And we will do 6 through 10 on another episode. But thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope you're having a good time with this little 2-episode mini series. And I'll see you on the next